and let's get into it. So here's another thing that we will read. So Drake's. This is a lookbook that Drake's did. Drake's in Edinburgh, the lookbook. This is, I don't think they quote the person who writes it. I think it's just kind of the staff. So yeah, I would consider Drake's to be one of those brands that has definitely caught my attention. As I'm 24. I'm kind of I'm not interested really in streetwear anymore, kind of at all. I'm trying to kind of graduate into this kind of menswear scene. Obviously, want to mix, kind of some of the cool vintage tees and kind of some of the kind of more kind of hip street kind of threads, right? Some still kind of cool vintage tees and graphics and stuff. I don't want it to just all be kind of 55-year-old accountant kind of look, right? But I do want to be buying. I want to get to the point where I can buy expensive long coats, not necessarily just because it's expensive, but because it's really well made and it's the best material possible. I think they make they have really good sourcing. All of it's like really well made and really well done. Another piece I just read, which I'll link in the bio. Drake's I think started as a tie maker in like the 70s, somewhat similar to Ralph Lauren, and they've done a really, really fantastic job kind of expanding their offering and transitioning, right? You can't become a $10 million company off ties, I don't think. So they've kind of expanded, right? Now the article was saying they've become as well known for their Oxford shirts as they are for their ties or for their scarves or whatever. So now they're making trousers and long coats and all of it, right? They have this entire offering, this whole ecosystem for the entire male wardrobe. And so they've done really, really well. So I think in the past, I think I have some crazy quote where like in 2010, the sales were 3 million or 5 million or something, and then in 2022 or 2021 it was 12 or 13 or 15. So they've done really, really well under the creative direction of Michael Hill, and so it's cool to see. I would love to stop by their store when I'm in London. I'll actually send this video to them, and I would love to if they like my style, maybe I can get some little footage in the store and a little quote and do a little write-up or a little video. So Drake's in Edinburgh, the lookbook. So here's a couple pics. I've actually seen some of these. I've seen j'ai déjà vu ces photos-là dans l'étiquette, le magazine de l'élégance masculine. I've already seen some of these pics, which is fine. So nice comment, appreciate that. Okay, so check this video. Yeah, short and sweet, right? We're not really pushing too many boundaries here, but yeah, decent little campaign. I thought they actually did this is my second time watching it. I thought they actually did a pretty good job showing off kind of the Edinburgh kind of flair. It's not bad. I like this. Above all, they've got this little architectural kind of homage. That's quite cool. Solid shapes. That's pretty neat. And what else? Yeah, the bagpipes and the kind of that's got a cool flair to it. Did also appreciated this kind of hand-drawn touch at the end. That's always quite charming. I was rewatching some of Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat was one of the first guys. I think he got a lot of guys my age into filmmaking, into kind of filmmaking and storytelling. We kind of looked up to this guy. Didn't come from a kind of lower economic background and kind of was able to become a multi-million-dollar success, which is amazing, and making some cool work along the way. So with Nike and cool brands, Mercedes, and so yeah, in Neistat's videos, he has lots of hand-drawn kind of painting and smudging and ripping and tearing and cardboard paper and stuff. So that's what that reminds me of. That's pretty charming. What was I about to say? One thing I do feel like I will say, this kind of film. I'm not sure what this is. This kind of film video camera shot. It does feel like kind of like a crutch that people use when the shots themselves aren't that great. The shots in this actually were decent. They actually were pretty good. Nice compositions. But I do think you're seeing lots of people kind of use this kind of film thing as a crutch, right? The shot itself isn't that interesting, and then because it's kind of got this vintage bordering around it, it's kind of like, oh, is this supposed to be cool? So yeah, I guess just keep an eye out for that. Don't get tricked. Don't get tricked by these folks. All right. Edinburgh is a lovely spot to spend a few days if you're lucky enough, as we were, to catch it during a period when the sun shines golden against the heather and the cobblestones. It can feel like a city you might never want to leave. There's fresh air, beautiful architecture, good food, better whiskey, and a beach. It's not quite Cala di Volpe, but it is a beach nonetheless. With so much to offer, we didn't have to look too far for inspiration for our latest lookbook, taking our house tailoring, blah, 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 winter outerwear, and of course, Scottish tweed all around the city. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Edinburgh, for those who have not been, yeah, this just remind me of Chicago, like in terms of the comparison. LA, New York, I don't care at all about LA. New York, right? New York gets a lot of the attention in terms of being a great city in the United States. Chicago, right? Chicago in the summertime, ooh wee, right? Hard to beat. Edinburgh is a similar kind of thing, right? When the ambient, when it's really hitting, right? You kind of got the pint and the sunshine and the whole kind of thing. It's spectacular. And for me, I love the moody kind of brooding weather. So even in the winter and the fall, right? It's fantastic with the Gothic windows and the pouring rain and the smoke and the umbrellas. It's amazing. Stews and stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, Edinburgh's really, really cool. If you do make it out to Europe, or I guess yeah, Scotland's still European, right? You should check it out. So let's check out this lookbook. Let's see what I'm saying about it. Yeah, I mean, you do. I think you appreciate. I appreciate the the inclusion of all the different kind of architectural flavors, little details. I mean, that's a really cool looking fence. This is the kind of stuff. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff where people from the United States of America, people like me, we kind of we see fences like this and we like lose our minds. And it's just people in Europe are so they're so. What's it called? They're so spoiled with these kind of like heritage kind of details that we just don't really have that much of outside of a handful of older cities in the U.S. There's just so many new cities in the States, so we just don't have that many kind of old little fence. You know what I mean? It's just like we're just kind of deprived of these kind of charming little details. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. This is kind of a cool pic. I've been trying to kind of hone my eye a little bit more in terms of fashion photography, kind of how you can kind of create memorable photos. We're actually going to look at the work of Harley Wire. I've been super, super impressed with her work. We're going to look at her work in a future video for sure. And she has a pretty amazing eye, and a pretty amazing way of kind of contorting the way you, some lips, right? Just kind of the way you portray someone's lips in kind of a new, novel way. So yeah, more interesting than this guy just kind of standing here. That's boring. I've seen that 5,000 times. I've seen this, less. Some guy kind of losing his footing, about to fall into a lake. Shoes and the coat's kind of gingerly draping down. It's kind of cool. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I mean, pretty hot pick. You like the kind of. I'm not sure if this is corduroy. I can't. It's surprisingly difficult to to see on this lap. It's kind of like it's because I'm filming. It's actually pretty far away, but I can't tell the details here. But it's pretty hot little pic. Cool little jacket. Sitting in the park. It's pretty flattering. Fantastic little sweater here. You love to see that. Maybe this might be kind of a high-waisted corduroy trouser. It's pretty fantastic. Over in Oxford, it's a pretty good look. Maybe you pop the collar, you kind of mess the hair up, and you kind of add a little bit of a flair to it. With the rings and the tats and the piercings, you can kind of give it a bit. You can take some of the edge off the preppiness. Yeah, one criticism here. I've seen this a lot en fait, dans le magazine L'Étiquette, il y a plein de photos où le pantalon du mec, ils sont très très courts. Ils sont serrés aux chevilles. I'm trying to say in this magazine that I like a lot, and online in general, I really do not like the trend of the short trouser, of the short jean, of the short kind of pants. I think it's terrible. And my mom is actually really stylish as well. She dresses pretty fantastic. She's quite an elegant woman, and she is always since even since before this was kind of trendy, became trendy a couple of years ago. She was always really opposed to it. And there's been a problem for me, right? Because I'm a little bit of a taller guy. I've kind of bought trousers at Uniqlo, right? Trying to hoping that it kind of fits. And then I get home and mom was like, those are way too, what the hell? Those are way too short, right? They're barely hitting my ankle, and you want them to be kind of draping over the boot, right? So it's just bad. It's just bad. So I would watch out for that. I don't love that. What is this? I might have to try and slide here. Bouquiniste. This is cool. This is the kind of stuff that would be fun to do, right? A little photo shoot. Like, hey, go post up over there. I appreciate this typography. That's not bad, man. That'd be a cool aspect of the job. I would also wonder if Drake's has a full-time video person. That'd be also a pretty cool job to have. This guy's pretty classically handsome. This guy looks like the handsome Squidward version of me, with no facial hair. The facial hair has been a game changer for me. Let me just tell you, I have it's much more me than I used to look. Also, one other thing, don't love the sweater around the hip. En España, se supone en otros países también, en España los chavales de mi edad y también de que son un poco mayores llevan el jersey como diagonal sobre el pecho y los hombros, así, como un X. Y queda muy bien, queda mejor, queda menos como pringado que esto. Que me gusta más. So yeah, don't love the sweater around the hip. But they're trying their best to add a little bit of style. So yeah, cool little lookbook. So definitely going to stop by the Drake store. Cool to see them. They've kind of tapped in with ALD and some other brands to kind of put on American consumers. I might have even found them through ALD, in the past year or two. So or no, I think I found them through L'Etiquette. But yeah, pretty cool brands making good quality products, and I'm definitely going to stop by their spot.